A little after 4:35 a.m. here in the Central Time Zone, and we have our first tornado warning of the morning over here in Washington County for the northwestern corner of Washington County. This is going to include the community of Millry, and I want to stress that most of our region for now is quiet. We do have a tornado watch that's just been issued for nearly all of our area, and that's going to be valid until 11 a.m. But the first tornado warning of the day is for our area at least, is on the board right here in the northwestern part of Washington County, and it's because of this booger of a storm that's actually produced some damage back here in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Significant damage has occurred near Petal and near Hattiesburg, Mississippi due to this same storm. And again, if you're in northwestern Washington County, you need to seek shelter right now as we have a very dangerous storm on the way. If you're waking up and tuning in the central part of southwest Alabama, places like Bruton, Atmore, Monroeville, Evergreen, you're fine. If you want to go back to sleep and check back with us in about an hour or two, I expect all of these storms to continue pushing off to the southeast, and we could have some major issues across our area in the coming hours. I'm afraid that this is the first of many tornado warnings for our region today. Again, it's 4:36 here in the Central Time Zone, and we've got a tornado warning in effect for northwestern Washington County. And I will tell you this on the front end, this is a potentially dangerous situation. Again, damage has occurred. We know damage has occurred because we're seeing it all across social media, and we'll put up some of those images in a little bit. And again, let's zoom in on this area, I should say. And okay, so here's your tornado warning. This is the polygon. Let's take off the radar data so you can see exactly who is involved in this and who is not. And so areas you see here in this red zone per se, this is your tornado warning. And I believe that this is on the board, yes, until 5:15 a.m. So it's 4:38. We've got about, say, 45 more minutes on this thing about. And the main highway that's involved in this tornado warning, at least in our coverage area, is State Route 17 that connects Chatham up to Silas right here along US 84. And so no travel is advised on State Highway 17 north of Chatham headed towards Millry and Silas in southern Choctaw County. Well, we also should note that this tornado warning does include southeastern Choctaw County. And again, this is valid until 5:15 local time. We'll put the radar data back on, and I'll zoom out a little bit and put this into motion so that you can see that these storms are moving very quickly off to the east-northeast. If you're in Chatham, if you're in Tibby, if you're in Fruitdale, Vinegar Bend, St. Stephen's, Leroy, this is not for you. This is strictly for the northwestern side of Washington County. A very small percentage of our area is included in this tornado warning. And again, just looking at some of the things coming in on social media, damage has transpired in southeastern Mississippi that is substantial. And also, we should note that the National Weather Service office in Birmingham suggesting that the potential for strong, as in EF2 plus tornadoes across South Alabama, the chance of that is going up, unfortunately. And even overnight, we've had the Storm Prediction Center raise the convective outlook threat level up to enhance for all of our region. And we'll show you that in just a moment. But again, we're here to talk about this tornado warning for northwestern Washington County, valid until 5:15 a.m. local time. Current time is 4:39. Tell you what, let's go over to the graphic system, because for those of you that may be watching in the northwestern corner of Washington County, we want you to go to the lowest floor of your site-built structure away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. Do that now if you're in northern Washington County. If you're in Chatham, if you're in Tibby, Vinegar Bend, not for you. This is strictly for areas near Millry. If you have a Millry, Alabama address, you need to get sheltered right now. Again, center of the structure, bathroom, closet, or hallway, an interior room like that, that's where you want to be. And no mobile homes, no cars. Certainly don't be driving along State Highway 17, which is the main north-south highway there in the far western part of Washington County. Also, you want to protect your head right now if you're in the northwestern part of Washington County. Football, baseball, bicycle helmet, all great. If you don't have a helmet, you can wear a cooking pot. All of us have cooking pots under the counter, right? So grab one of those, put it on your head. I know it looks funny, but it could save your life. Also, you want a whistle or air horn. If you don't have that, you need to grab it now. This thing is on the way, and it's on your doorstep in northwestern Washington County. Also, closed-toed shoes on right now. And the most important thing, you're having a hard time seeing it there because of our banner, but act now. Don't wait. Very serious situation in the southern side of Washington County. Let's go back to the radar. And again, lots of lightning, lots of thunder with this thing as it approaches Waynesboro. It's basically on top of Waynesboro, Mississippi. And we also should note that we've got several severe thunderstorm warnings back here in Mississippi. I'm telling you, the damage back here in Hattiesburg near Petal and Hattiesburg has been extensive. And so we'll try to get some of these pictures up on social media so that you can see these. Again, the only place that we have under a tornado warning right now is a very small part of our area. It's over here, way over in West Alabama along State Highway 17, the northwestern part of Washington County. This includes Milry. So if you're in Milry, you need to seek shelter now, right now. Don't wait. Just checking a few other things. And again, we're going to try to show you some of the damage. And this will be the first of many times that I say this, but I'm battling some major sinus issues this morning, and so I'm going to try to not talk as intensely as I normally do because I'm afraid that will just throw my voice out of whack. Again, what we're going to do is show you some of the damage photos from back in Mississippi. And we also should note that we have a severe thunderstorm warning in Lowndes County. That storm has showed signs of broad rotation. And this is from Twitter user Ryan Moore, at Ryan Moore MS on Twitter. Give him a follow. Here's the picture. And again, this was damage in downtown Hattiesburg, Mississippi, tweeted out at 4:15 a.m. local time. Look at that. Just a terrible situation there in Hattiesburg due to a likely tornado that moved through, perhaps a strong tornado. And so this is the type of damage that these storms could unfortunately do even in southwest Alabama today. Very, very serious there in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Again, this was tweeted out by at Ryan Moore MS over on Twitter. So serious situation has transpired over in southeastern Mississippi. We'll go back and see if we can show you a few more of the damage photos. I think we have one more by Ryan over in Mississippi, yes. This is also in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and again, showing you these damage photos from Twitter in real time. Again, this is from at Ryan Moore MS on Twitter. You can see that trees are down on a car there. There's the car. Again, serious situation over in Mississippi. And damage just like that has occurred due to this tornado or possible tornado, I should say, likely tornado, that has moved through Hattiesburg and Petal over in the southeastern side of Mississippi. Again, we want to thank Twitter user at Ryan Moore MS on Twitter for those photos. Those are available on his account if you want to check them out for yourself. Also, you can go to at RZ Weather on Twitter. We retweeted those images as well. All right, so again, if you are just waking up, the current time is now 4:45 a.m., and what I want to do is zoom out and actually tell you what, let's actually switch sources and go to the live radar. Because most of the area is quiet. You do see that we've got some shower activity here in Washington and Clarke, even Monroe counties, but that action is well under severe limits. The only reason we are here is because of this tornado warning, and I say only reason, it's a big deal, but I'm saying that's the good news, that we only have one storm on the board right now coming out of Mississippi, moving into far western Alabama. And what's going to happen with this, National Weather Service is noting that this system is likely cycling in terms of its strength, going up and down. Rotation right now appearing more broad, which is good news. However, the Weather Service is very concerned that this thing could strengthen once again and drop a tornado any time because the atmosphere is so ripe and unstable as it approaches Washington and Choctaw counties here in western Alabama. Again, if you're in Monroeville, if you're in Evergreen, Castleberry, Bruton, Century, Flomaton, Canoe, Milton, Crestview, Pensacola, you're fine. Tornado watch until 11 a.m. for your locations, but no issues for now. Again, grab another hour of sleep or two. If we have tornado warnings, we will be talking about them here on our live stream. Before you go to sleep, though, have a way to receive those warnings. NOAA Weather Radio, also Weather Radio is a fantastic app available on Android and iPhone App Store. Download that before you go to sleep and set it up so it will wake you up just in case we have tornado warnings elsewhere, and I think we will across the region. Understand, we could be here a long, long time this morning, I'm afraid, as this batch of storms continues to move through. And I should mention, this is round number 1. This is not over, per se, after the system moves through. We've got another batch of storms that's likely to fire later tonight into the early morning hours of Sunday. So this is a double-barrel threat that could be very significant both this morning and tonight. So that's the latest on that. And again, just checking a few other things. If you hear me go silent, don't think I'm leaving you or anything like that. We're checking all of our sources here. Burning that midnight oil today. It has been a long night prepping for this potential severe weather event, or now severe weather event, I should say. And we have our first tornado warning, which is why we are here over in northwestern Washington County. And again, we're going to be with you as long as we have tornado warnings anywhere in southwest Alabama or northwest Florida. Again, that's the only one that we have on the board. Just checking a few other things here. Bear with me. And if you happen to know someone in the northwestern part of Washington County out here near Milry, call them. We'll let them know that this storm means business. In fact, we'll zoom in and show you that Milry is basically the only major, or I say major, significant population center included in this tornado warning. This is Alabama State Highway number 17 there that connects Chatham up to Silas, and the intersection up here is this is US 84 right in through here that connects Coffeyville over to Waynesboro and crosses the Mississippi line right in through here. And so again, State Highway 17, no driving right now. No driving also west on US 84 out of Coffeyville coming over towards the Mississippi line, as a tornado warning is in effect for those regions right now. If you know someone driving, you need to call, in these areas, you need to call them, let them know that you can't be driving. Bad idea, terrible place to be in a tornado warning is a car, so don't get in a car. Excuse me. And just looking at a few other things here, I want to take a brief look at another storm that is behind this first tornado warning, and I say first tornado warning. Let's go over, in fact, let's shift to this other radar, and what I'm going to do is actually take an in-depth look inside this second storm. Again, this is Mississippi back here. Oh, this is your Alabama line. Alabama starts here. This is Washington County, Clarke County there, Mobile County right there. And so what I'm doing right now is checking the velocity on that. And also we should zoom out. And again, I know that we've got folks coming in and out of our stream. Again, if you're just waking up perhaps and you're in Mobile, if you're in Pensacola, Milton, Crestview, Bruton, East Bruton, Flomaton, Atmore, Evergreen, Monroeville, Thomasville even, you're fine. No issues for you right now. This is a tornado watch for those communities that I just called out. The only community that we have under a tornado warning as of 4:51 a.m. is Milry, right here in Washington County. And you can see that the lightning output along the state line, basically, just to the west of Milry, has really ramped up. And so oftentimes you'll see lightning output ramp up with the presence of updrafts in the thunderstorm, which is often indicative that we could have a potential tornado. And so Milry, seek shelter right now, lowest floor of that site-built structure away from windows and doors. And you hear the noise in the background that just cut off. That's actually some airflow that we have in here, some air conditioner, just because, again, I'm a little bit under the weather, and so I'm trying to stay cool and that sort of thing. All right, and we note that as of 4:51, which is the current time, National Weather Service in Mobile is continuing the tornado warning over in Washington County. We also should note that this rotation has really ramped up in the past few frames, and the Weather Service is noting that in our in-house NWS chat system. And so right in through here, this thing is going to make a beeline for the state line. It's doing so right now. And so let's go back over to the live Doppler, because this is the level 2 radar, which is a little bit more high resolution. And so what I want to do is zoom in on that region. Again, there's Milry right over here. This is State Highway 17, US 84 here. Here's the state line. Waynesboro, Mississippi right in through there. That's US 84. Let's go over to the velocity product on the live radar. Excuse me. All right, and so classic indication right in through here of a couplet. And we know we got a new tornado warning being issued right now for Choctaw County. And this is going to be most likely an extension of this current warning. Again, there's your couplet right in through there that could be producing a tornado even as we speak. And so Milry, this thing likely will pass just to the north of you. However, you need to be in that safe place. If you're in Milry, anywhere out here in the northwestern part of Washington County, be in that safe place right now. Lowest floor of your site-built structure, away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. No driving right now along State Highway 17 or US 84, west of Coffeyville and north of Chatham. You don't need to be driving. It's almost 5 in the morning, and that's just a bad idea, as we have a very serious situation with this couplet that could be producing a tornado right now. In fact, let's go over to another product. This is called correlation coefficient, and basically this tells us the consistency of the objects, the hydrometeors in the clouds. And when you see colors like this in terms of red on this product anyway, that's actually a good thing. We're not seeing anything that would suggest debris being lofted into the sky. Go back to the reflectivity, the classic radar, and this is kind of confusing. You see all these colors right in through here in Wayne County, Mississippi. This is Wayne County. You've got Choctaw County here. This is Washington County. But your possible tornado is right in through there, on top of or just to the east of Waynesboro. And again, this is making this general motion right in through here. Also note the tornado warning that I mentioned a bit ago is not an extension of our current warning. It's actually a separate warning. And so Choctaw County is actually out of our coverage area, but just to show you this, if you're in Butler, which is the county seat of Choctaw County, you're now under a tornado warning. And so you need to seek shelter as this booger of a storm is headed your way. In fact, let's go back over to the velocity product and have a look at that. And this is kind of in the West Alabama radar hole. You get so high off the ground in terms of the beam height from all three radars, Jackson, Birmingham, and Mobile, that just not a great place to see the indication of the tornado. But nonetheless, if you're in Butler, anywhere along State Highway 17 here, seek shelter, as we've got now the county seat of Choctaw County under a tornado warning. And I also should mention that that includes a substantial part of State Highway 10. This is State Highway 10 right here that connects Sweetwater over to Meridian via Butler. And so Butler, be in that safe place. Anywhere here in the central part of Choctaw County and the southern part of Choctaw County, the community of Silas sits right there. You've also got Toxie right here included in the tornado warning that's valid until 5:15 local time. And I'll zoom out on our live radar so that you can see across our region, most places, fine. Now, again, heavy rain increasing down here near the Mobile River Delta just to the south of Jackson and Leroy. And again, that's the tornado warning that we are here for, the northwestern corner of Washington County. And so we're going to be here until at least 5:15, and perhaps we'll get a break. But understand, I wouldn't be shocked if in the next few hours that we have to be with you continuously as this line of storms continues pushing off to the east. We could have some intense tornadoes possible. Yes, intense tornadoes, EF2 plus possibly, which is a big deal. And again, we showed you those damage photos back in Hattiesburg a bit ago. And just checking a few other things here. Again, current time 4:57. Hang with me, and we will continue to keep you posted. All right, so let's check a few other things here. I think we've got some new information that we're going to need to pass along to you. Again, the tornado watch, all the counties you see here shaded in pink, and this, by the way, goes up to just to the south of Tuscaloosa and Birmingham. Basically, Hoover over to Talladega, over to, say, Livingston, points south, all the way down to the Alabama and Northwest Florida beaches, now under a tornado watch until 11 a.m. And so we're coming up on 5 a.m., so we'll have about 6 more hours on this tornado watch. And for those of you that just may be joining us, the tornado watch obviously means that you need to stay weather aware. We've talked about this for days now, but stay heightened weather aware over the next several hours and let friends and family know about this tornado potential. You want to have those helmets and your head protection ready. Again, the research shows that if you protect your head when a tornado affects you, your chances of survival increase dramatically. And so head protection and helmets, whistles and air horns, and also closed-toed shoes. Very, very important that you do that today, because if you have a tornado, we certainly don't want that, but if you have to walk out on debris, the electrical field, that's something that we have to think about. So closed-toed shoes, that's why we advertise that. Again, back to the live radar we go. Tell you what, let's kind of do an in-depth analysis of what's going on across the region as we come up on the 5 a.m. hour. And again, here is why we are here. Here's the community of Waynesboro, Mississippi. You've got State Highway 17 there. Silas, Milry, be in your safe place. Chapel Hill is also a tiny community right out in through here. You've also got a state park, I believe, right in through here in the northern part of Washington County. Anywhere near that state park, you need to be sheltered as this tornado warning continues for your area. In fact, let's look at the velocity data on this. And so here's the deal. There's your couplet right in through there. In fact, that's basically on top of U.S. Highway 84, just to the west of Silas. And so it looks like this thing will move into Choctaw County as opposed to Washington County. But understand, this thing is so close that as a course of least regret, you need to stay sheltered right up here in Chapel Hill and also in Milry along State Highway 17 in the northwestern side of Washington County. Now, we also should note that we have another tornado warning to the north in Choctaw County. And this can get a bit confusing because formerly we had tornado warnings issued by county, but now they're issued by polygons. And so if you're in Butler, you're included in a polygon, in the tornado warning polygon for this area of rotation. Kind of hard to see right in through there as it moves off to the northeast. And so that's the latest with that one. I believe that those are the only 2 tornado warnings that we have anywhere across Alabama. In fact, let's have a peek across the state. Yes, and so you can see that those are your only 2 tornado warning polygons anywhere across Alabama right now. And this is in a very rural part of the state. Again, no issues right now for much of south central Alabama. A severe thunderstorm warning continues for the next few minutes for the northeastern part of Lowndes County, just to the west of Montgomery. And that storm appears to be moving into Autauga and Elmore counties. But that's a severe thunderstorm warning, not a tornado warning. Not to say that it can't do damage, but again, the big concern is back here over Choctaw and Washington counties in western Alabama. So, tell you what, let's go back to the local area. And again, Bruton, Evergreen, Milton, Destin, you're fine. No issues for now. Tornado watch until 11 a.m. Only issue on the board back here in Washington County. We also should note, again, heavy rain. You see all this color down in through here near Gainestown, near Chatham, near Fruitdale, Vinegar Bend, out here along U.S. Highway 45. All of this is under severe limits. Chatham, Vinegar Bend, Fruitdale, Calvert, St. Stephen's, Leroy. This tornado warning was never for you. This is for the northwestern tip of Washington County. And so, again, those communities that I just called out, you're not in the warning. You never have been. And that's why it's critically important to determine with these polygons who's included and who's not. Because if we say Washington County, that could mean one community or all the communities, or a mix. And so in this case, it's just Milry, and the rotation, it appears like, will be passing just to the north of Milry. But as a course of least regret, Milry, stay in that safe place for the next 10 to 15 minutes, and I'll be able to give you an all clear. But for now, stay in that safe place. Also, we got some folks around town, or around the region, I should say, that have connections to Butler, Alabama, which is the county seat of rural Choctaw County here in western Alabama. If you know someone in Butler, you need to call them, let them know that we have a possible tornado on their doorstep in Butler. This is a separate tornado warning. So here's tornado warning polygon number 1 and tornado warning polygon number 2. So much of Choctaw County included in polygon number 2. Again, just after 5 a.m., 5:02. And I'm seeing some unconfirmed reports this morning. This situation in Hattiesburg, I'm telling you, it is not good. We have had structural damage, not only in Hattiesburg, but also back here in Perry County, Mississippi. And so it appears that this same storm that's moving into Washington and Choctaw counties in West Alabama has caused an extensive path of damage back down towards Hattiesburg and Petal. And so if you know someone, Hattiesburg, Petal, areas near there, you need to call them and see if they're okay this morning, as a significant storm has rolled through that region. And so that's the latest. Again, tornado warning continues until 5:15. Current time is 5:03. And again, that's for northwestern Washington County. Excuse me. Again, battling the sinus issues. We're going to get through this, though, today. And tell you what, let's look at the velocity data on this. Whoops. There we go. And so here's your couplet right in through here, basically on top of US 84. If you're in Silas, this is on top of you. Be in your safe place if you are in Silas. If you know someone in southern Choctaw County, anywhere near Silas or Toxie, you need to call them. Let them know that they're under a tornado warning. And I'm telling you, this thing is looking powerful, and it is on top of them. This little couplet right in through here that's moving off to the northeast. I wouldn't be shocked in the next few moments if we got an extension of this tornado warning for these areas right in through here. And I have to say, if this thing continues on its trajectory, that would put it in northern Clarke County. We're talking about places out here toward Bashy, and also areas just to the west of Thomasville near Tallahassee Springs. All this area could go under a tornado warning very shortly, as the National Weather Service in Mobile probably considering whether or not, and I think they will, to consider this warning. That couplet right there, though, at the surface, at least at about 5,000, 6,000 feet off the ground at where the beam is hitting it here, is very, very pronounced. And you can see the sweep there coming by. Again, this rotation is moving just like this to the northeast. And so on that trajectory, again, we're talking about folks out here towards Bashy. Get ready to implement those tornado safety precautions. This is the first of many tornado warnings that are likely today. And let's actually go over to the iPad. I need to share this with you. This situation in Mississippi is not looking good. This is a tweet from a meteorologist at WDAM in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Nick Lilja, he's a fantastic guy. Look at these quotes. This is from that same reporter that we showed you the pictures from earlier. People are trapped, quote, I can hear people screaming for help. And again, that is on WDAM out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And so certainly not something that we want to see this morning, but that's where we are. Again, here's tornado warning polygon number 2. You've got State Highway 10 that runs right in through here, State Highway 17 that connects Silas and Gilbertown up to Butler. No travel on those roads, and no, you need to be in your safe place if you're in central Choctaw County. Also, the community of Pennington out here toward the Tombigbee River is included in this tornado warning in Choctaw County. Let's go back over to the other radar source, because this will show you, again, northwestern Washington County remains in this tornado warning, and this is valid for the next 8 minutes, and so until 5:15. And again, I think that as a course of least regret, you need to stay in that safe place in Washington County for the next, say, 5 minutes. But the good news is I think I'm going to be able to give you an all clear here in Milroy. And we've got a new tornado warning that's being issued right now for portions of Clarke County, also Choctaw County included in this. And so you're about to hear the noise. This polygon is going to be right in through here. What we just talked about moments ago, this is going to include Thomasville. So again, if you're in Thomasville, this will be a tornado warning for you. That's going to be valid until 5:45 a.m. And I'll tell you what, we've got to activate our RedZone Weather text alert. Excuse me. And again, battling sinus issues this morning, so bear with me as we continue our severe weather coverage this morning. Again, Clarke County, northern Clarke County, out here along State Highway 154, Thomasville, Bashee, Tallahassee Springs. There's a little community right in through here called Midway. Also, this is going to be, I believe, just to the north of Coffeyville. This actually includes Coffeyville, right here along US Highway 84. All those areas that I just called out in northern Clarke County, you need to be getting to that safe place now, right now. Don't wait, as this is a serious, serious situation over in Clarke County. We see that the rotation is right in through here in southern Choctaw County. And again, this thing is on top of Toxie and Silas as it moves to the east-northeast at a very rapid clip. We'll do a storm track in just a minute so you can get some idea of where this thing is. And again, what I'm doing right now is getting out this RedZone Weather text alert. While I do that, I'm going to take you back to the reflectivity product, which is the classic radar. And also, I'm going to zoom out just so you can see that across the region, these are the 2 tornado warnings that we have in place. Bruton, Evergreen, Pensacola, Milton. You're fine. No issues for you from now, but that could obviously change in the hours ahead. Again, just bear with me as I get out this RedZone Weather text. Again, if you're in Thomasville, if you are in Tallahassee Springs, if you are in Midway, in Clarke County, if you're in Coffeyville, if you have a Coffeyville address, you need to seek shelter as this tornado warning is now including you in northern Clarke County, basically the northern fourth of Clarke County. And again, this damage in Mississippi, folks, I'm telling you, it is not looking good for our friends over in Mississippi in terms of Hattiesburg and Petal. People trapped, unconfirmed reports of people trapped and that sort of thing. And I'll tell you what, if you are watching our live stream right now, if you could comment and let us know about feed quality, because we've had some multiple internet issues over the past several hours. And again, internet is how we get our data out. And so let us know how that feed quality is doing, if you will, as I continue to get out this RedZone Weather text for our good friends over in Thomasville. Again, we're going to show you damage photos. We're going to do a storm track all in just a moment. All right, so again, northern Clarke County, northern Washington County, northwestern Washington County, stay in that safe place as a tornado warning continues for your area. And again, if you're just now joining us, what I'm doing is sending out a RedZone Weather emergency text alert excuse me, to our friends over in Clarke County. Again, this is an extremely dangerous situation in central Choctaw County. In fact, let's zoom in on this region. Again, we've been looking at the wide view for quite some time. We got 2 tornado warnings in Choctaw County as the sweep comes by. This is Butler. This is Alabama Highway number 17. Area of concern number 1 is basically on top of the community of Silas. So by chance, if you're tuning in at the last minute and you know someone in Silas or Toxie, you need to call them, let them know this booger of a storm potentially producing a tornado right now is on top of them. I mean, it's a serious situation right here in Butler as well. Anywhere near those communities, nearly all of Choctaw County is included in some type of tornado warning. And so if you're in Choctaw County, be weather ready. This is a serious, serious, serious situation in Choctaw County. And unfortunately, I think we're about to have a very serious situation in Clarke County as well. Over here near Bashee, near Midway, near Thomasville. Be in a safe place. Again, getting out this text this morning. And I also should mention, for those of you that just may be waking up and tuning in, a tornado watch continues for the entire region until 11 a.m. local time. A very serious situation. And again, hang with me. Looking at a few other things here, as well as potentially some more damage photos over on Twitter that we will show you. And also, I promise, we're going to do a storm track just so you can get some idea of what we're talking about. And what I'm doing is actually typing out the text, tornado warning for northern Clarke, northern Washington, and much of Choctaw County in West Alabama. And again, if I stop talking, it's not that I'm neglecting you or forgetting about you. It's just we got to get out this information. All right, so there goes the text. That is done. Excuse me. And so if you're opted into our free RedZone Weather text program, you're about to get a notification that we've got a serious situation over here in West Alabama. Again, looking at some damage photos out of Mississippi. The Weather Service is noting that we have intense rotation right in through here near Gilbertown. And again, this is the portion of the storm that could be affecting northern Clarke County very shortly. And so, excuse me, that's the latest with that. Tell you what, while we wait for the text to be activated, let's talk about the whole region. This is a tornado watch. All the counties that you see shaded in pink are now under a tornado watch until 11 a.m. local time. And also, we should note, for those of you that just may be tuning in, it is a little bit after 5:15 a.m. And we now can tell you that if you're in Milry, we can give you an all clear from the tornado warning for now. But understand, if you're in Milry, terrible, terrible weather about to begin. I wouldn't be shocked if there were some branches from trees blown down and that sort of thing in the northwestern part of Washington County out here towards Milry. And so again, we're here though to talk about this tornado warning over here in Choctaw and Clarke counties. Again, if you are in Milry, you can see that you're outside of the polygon. The severe weather, the former severe weather threat has ended for you. However, just to your north, across the county line in Choctaw County, very serious situation near Gilbertown. The National Weather Service in Mobile noting that we have very intense rotation on the board along State Highway 17. This is US 84 right in through here. And again, this rotation area is moving off to the east-northeast. If you are in Thomasville, just waking up perhaps, if you are in the community of Midway, if you're in Tallahassee Springs or Bashi, you need to seek shelter right now as this rotation is moving just like this toward Marengo County, or toward Clarke County, I should say. Here's the Tombigbee River, and again, this thing will be crossing the Tombigbee River very, very shortly. And so Thomasville, if you know someone, know your neighbor, wake them up. Tell them to tune into this live stream as we've got a very serious situation on your doorstep moving rapidly to the east-northeast. And again, let's check the velocity on this so we can show you exactly where the rotation is. I'm telling you, this thing is extremely wrapped up right in through here on top of Gilbertown, State Highway 17, moving off to the east. I wouldn't be shocked if this thing is producing a large tornado on the ground right in through here near Gilbertown. A very, very powerful couplet signature that you can see there. And just checking a few other things here, a few other products. Again, this actually could be a bounded weak echo region right in through here, which is often indicative of a tornado, a strong tornado, perhaps right on top of Gilbertown, approaching this bend area of the Tombigbee River, and also approaching areas near Bashi in the far northwestern part of Clarke County. Near the community also of Campbell is included in this excuse me, tornado warning. Again, for those of you that just may be tuning in, I'm battling sinus issues, but we're going to get through it. So if you hear me hacking and coughing, just bear with me. We'll get through it. Again, Thomasville, Campbell, Bashi, Midway in Clarke County, not Midway in Conecuh County. We're talking about Midway over here in Clarke County. Be in that safe place as this very powerful signature of a storm is moving your way right now. We also should note that we've got a separate tornado warning polygon just to the north that includes Butler. In fact, we'll look at the velocity on this, and the beam of the radar is actually hitting the hydrometeors very high in the clouds near Butler. And so understand, you're looking at the signature about 6,000-7,000 feet off the ground here, and the signature is right in through here, moving towards the community of Pennington. Also understand, if you're in Marengo County or know someone in Marengo County, Sweetwater, we're also talking about Aimwell, Nanophilia, also areas near Dixon Mills, Linden to the south. All those areas in rural Marengo County, Alabama, get ready because we've got two signatures, 1 and 2, that are on your doorstep. And this could be a serious situation for Marengo County in the next few minutes as these storms continue working their way to the east-northeast. Again, I'm telling you, when you see something like that on radar, that means business. This is a couplet. You've got winds in the green areas here blowing away from the radar, winds right in through here blowing towards the radar, and thus you've got a couplet just to the east of Gilbertown. I'm very, very concerned for our friends in Gilbertown that a significant tornado may have just moved through that community. I hope that folks were sheltered in Gilbertown and also areas just to the north of Silas and Toxie out here in Choctaw County. I mean, that is a booger of a signature that's about to cross the Tombigbee River into northern Clarke County, places like Thomasville as well. Again, for those of you that are just waking up, and again, you may be wondering, well, Spinks, why are you talking about the whole region if we've got this area of concern? We got folks who are coming in and out of the feed, and so we're going to do this every 5 to 10 minutes just to tell you that all of this action in southern Clarke, Monroe, Washington counties, this is under severe limits. It's raining like cats and dogs near Gainestown, near the Mobile River Delta, but all of that action is under severe limits. The main booger of a storm is right in through here, right now near Choctaw County, but I'm telling you, northern Clarke, Thomasville, it is on your doorstep. A serious situation over in West Alabama. Excuse me. And I'll tell you what, let's look at some of these other damage photos from southeast Mississippi. We want to thank all the good folks, reporters and whatnot in southeast Mississippi that have tweeted out these pictures. We're also hearing from the National Weather Service that intense circulation and a likely tornado. This is what the National Weather Service is calling a likely tornado. And I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a significant tornado being on the ground right in through here near Gilbertown, near Thornton Springs, also a community. If you are in Campbell, if you are in Bashee, if you are in Thomasville, if you are in Tallahassee Springs, if you're in Coffeyville, you need to be seeking shelter. This thing is going to actually move a bit to the north of Coffeyville, but due to the fact that this polygon is so close, you need to be sheltered if you have a Coffeyville address right now. This is northern Clarke County, right in through here. All right, we have another tweet of damage. Tell you what, let's go over to the iPad source. And again, this is from Twitter user @RyanMooreMS. We showed some of his work earlier. And again, there's his Twitter handle. Give him a follow. The entire room off of a church near Arledge. And this is in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. You can see the damage here. In fact, we can make the photo a little bit bigger. This was a church, evidently. And just, goodness, something you don't want to see. Terrible damage there. Christian Tabernacle Apostolic Faith Church in Hattiesburg or near Hattiesburg, Mississippi has sustained pretty intense damage. Again, that's from Ryan Moore over on Twitter. Here's his profile on Twitter. Excuse me. And let's just scroll through some of these. And this was when lightning was happening. It's not daylight over in Mississippi. This is when lightning was happening. You can see, though, some of the damage that's transpired in Mississippi. And I'm showing you this because I hope this motivates you to act in northern Clarke County. Again, there's the community of Campbell. And the core of the storm is right in through here. Here's the Tombigbee River, kind of hard to see there. We'll zoom out so you can see the full picture. And also, we'll go over to the velocity data. There's your signature right in through here, moving off to the northeast. Thomasville, be in that safe place. In fact, what we need to do right now is, before we go back to the radar, let's go back over to our reminders. And again, if you're in Thomasville, anywhere that has a Thomasville address points north up to the Marengo County line. Lowest floor, site-built structure away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world, meaning you want to get to the center of your site-built structure, a hallway, closet, or bathroom. Protect your head. Put on a football or bicycle or baseball helmet right now. If you are in Thomasville, points north, points west, back toward the Tombigbee River, Bashai, Midway, in Clarke County, and also Campbell. Again, grab a whistle, grab an air horn, closed-toed shoes on, no mobile homes and no cars. Both terrible places to be during a tornado warning. So again, this is for our folks in Thomasville, points to the north, points to the east. And I wouldn't be shocked, and now we do have a tornado warning that's just been posted for Marengo County. We'll show you that. And again, I should mention that most of our area, vast majority of our area, is in the clear for now. You see all these counties shaded in pink. That's a tornado watch that's valid until 11 a.m. local time. This is rain. This is not thunderstorms. This is under severe limits. We're here to talk about this tornado warning, 2 tornado warnings in West Alabama. Now 3 tornado warnings, actually. Let me correct myself. And so we'll zoom into this area so you can see exactly who's involved. Let's see here. Checking a few other things. All right, this is State Highway 10, right in through here. And so Pine Hill is a community right there in Wilcox County at the intersection of 5 and 10. So what I'm telling you is no driving right now, none, from Pine Hill west on State Highway 10 all the way back over here to the Mississippi line, basically, as we have tornado warnings for a vast majority of that stretch of highway. No driving on 10. Also, no driving on U.S. Highway 43 from Thomasville all the way up to Linden. You can see here's a tornado warning polygon right in through here. And so basically Linden points south in Marengo County, also under a tornado warning. And I believe that that is valid until, yes, 6:15 a.m. local time. So if you're in this area, we're talking about places like Dixon Mills, which is right here, Sweetwater, Aimwell, Nanophilia, also Linden. Also, you've got the community of Dayton included in this tornado warning that is on the board until 6:15. Also, Thomaston is a community right in through here that is at the intersection of State Highway number 28 and also State Highway 5 is right in through here as well. And so no driving on any of those roadways in Marengo County as this tornado warning is on the board until 6:15 local time. Again, that's Marengo. Let's talk about Clarke because they're the county that belongs to us. And we'll zoom in on this region. All right, so this is a very tight view, but here's Thomasville right in through here. This is 43. That is Alabama Highway number 154 that runs south of Thomasville out here towards Midway. The tornado warning polygon has actually been clipped outside of Thomasville. And so what the Weather Service has decided to do in the last few minutes, you can see here now that if you are in Thomasville, basically from areas out here near Walmart, which is right in through here, south out here toward the industrial park in the southern side of Thomasville, you are now out of the tornado warning. And I can give you a clear for now. Again, not an all clear because we're going to have this line of storms move through in about 30 to 45 minutes. But again, if you're in Thomasville proper, right in through here, you are not officially included in a tornado warning anymore as of the last few minutes. Now, I'm hesitant to say get out of your safe place in Thomasville because here's the deal. This does include a section of the Thomasville zip code area, which I believe is 35784. And so if you have a Thomasville zip code, portions of the Thomasville zip code area, you need to stay sheltered out here, especially going out towards Midway and Bashee in the western part of Clarke County. And what's happening, you're seeing the radar update with the new sweep. Here's your core of the rotation, and it appears that just like what happened in Washington County about 30 minutes ago, it appears that the booger of the storm is going to actually move to the northwest of Clarke County, which will be a blessing for our folks here in Clarke County. But unfortunately, that means that our friends in Marengo County are going to be under the gun from this very serious situation that's moving in from the southwest. And so Marengo County, stay sheltered. I know that we've got a lot of folks who have connections to Marengo County. Aimwell, Sweetwater, also Dixon Mills, Linden, Dayton, Thomaston, I should say, which is a community right in through here, not to be confused with Thomasville. Thomaston is right there along State Highway 28 in Marengo County. And again, all those areas that I just called out, you need to be sheltered in Marengo County. And if you know someone, call them. I know that we don't have many folks in Marengo County who watch us, but we do have folks who are connected. And so call them, let them know that we've got this tornado warning that's on the board until 6:15 local time. Again, just checking a few other things here. I should note that the northern half of Marengo County, where a majority of the population is, not included in this tornado warning. The biggest city in Marengo is Demopolis, which is right in through there. You are not included in that tornado warning. This is specifically for Linden, basically, and points to the east and points to the south. Again, Sweetwater, Aimwell, Nanophilia, all included in that tornado warning until 6:15. All right, I'm just checking our excuse me, Twitter feed here. If you have damage photos, obviously tag us in those at RZ Weather, and we'll be sure to share them with the live stream here. However, I should note, don't go out and try to get a damage photo or a picture of a tornado if you're involved in a tornado warning. That's a terrible idea. You don't want to do that. And you certainly don't want to do that if you're in West Alabama near this area of rotation just to the southeast of Butler, Alabama. Let's go over to the velocity data. And again, this is getting into an area where the radar is hitting the hydrometeors in the clouds up here at a very high altitude per se, 5, 6, 7, 8,000 feet maybe. And again, here's your core of the rotation that's coming into, the far southwestern part of Marengo County as it trucks off to the northeast. We'll go back over to the reflectivity product and tell you what, let's do one thing here. The Weather Service is noting that it appears, like we've been talking about, that the core of the rotation is going to pass into Marengo County. However, they also note that this area right in through here, that could be a bowing segment with this line of storms that could produce damaging straight-line winds in northern Clarke County. And so, as a course of least regret, those communities that I've called out in the past 10 minutes in northern Clarke County, Thomasville, Bashee, Midway, Campbell, stay in that safe place for 10 minutes. Closet, interior room, something like that, as this bowing segment of wind associated with this strong to severe storm, I should say, is pushing off to the east. And so Thomasville heads up, damaging winds possible in the next 10 to 15 minutes. All right, and tell you what, we will attempt to show you a storm track if we can get that up. All right, yeah, there we go. So here's the deal. What we're going to do is this is this area of concern, and this is moving off to the northeast just like this at about, 50 miles an hour, so a very rapid clip. And so on this trajectory, this would mean that the storm is moving toward Linden. It's moving toward also Thomaston, Dayton. I should also mention Faunsdale, Uniontown potentially, and even in Perry County if the thing continues on its trajectory. That's your storm track and some potential times. Again, you need to be sheltered if you are anywhere in that tornado warning in Marengo County. Don't wait. We are blessed with lead time on this thing, but this is a general indication of where that tornado could be moving in the next several minutes in Marengo County, or possible tornado, I should say. So again, Marengo County under the gun due to a tornado warning. Let's also look at the velocity because, and again, there's your tornado warning polygon that continues. That area of concern right in through there in the northwestern part of Clarke County. Again, hard to discern there. Here's Coffeyville right there. There's Thomasville. This could be an area of intense storm winds at the surface potentially, moving off to the east and east-southeast at a very rapid clip. Checking a few other things here. Again, the only tornado warning that we have for any part of the red zone weather coverage area is in northern Clarke County. This area right in through there. And again, that is a strong indication of potentially damaging winds that even extends down to the surface, coming into the northern part of Clarke County, in northern Clarke County at this point. This is Alabama Highway number 154 that you see right there that connects Thomasville over to Thomasville over to Coffeyville. No driving on 154 right now in northern Clarke County. And checking a few things here. Again, just hang with me. Pardon my coughing and my voice this morning, dealing with some major sinus issues, but we're going to get through this first round of severe weather. Again, you see the bottom of your screen. We are looking at round 1 of 2 potential severe weather events today. We're in progress now for the first one. And also, I should note, I failed to say, this is State Highway number 69, by the way. That is a major north-south highway in West Alabama that connects Coffeyville up to, all the way up to Tuscaloosa is 69. But no driving right now on 69 or Alabama Highway number 154 as this very intense thunderstorm is moving in from the west. Again, that's the velocity data that you've been looking at. I'll take you back over to the reflectivity product to show you that the rain rates in this thing, very, very intense. The core of the rotation, however, in terms of the tornado threat right now, is moving into southwestern Marengo County, right in through here. You've got Sweetwater, you've got Dixon Mills, you've got Amwell, which is a tiny community right in there, Nanophilia, all included in that tornado warning that is valid until 6:15 for Marengo County. Again, northern Clarke, I believe, is on the board until 5:45. And so it's 5:35 a.m. right now. I'm Spinks Megginson. You're watching live Red Zone Weather, severe weather coverage here on Facebook. We have a tornado warning in progress for northern Clarke County that did include Thomasville. However, Thomasville, most of Thomasville anyway, has been clipped out of the tornado warning polygon. And you can see that near Thomasville, the only area included is basically US 43 just to the north of Walmart. You've got a large cemetery right there just to the west of Walmart, and from that cemetery back to the west. Those are the areas included in the tornado warning that is valid for the next 10 minutes for northern Clarke County. And again, core of rotation is riding through here, moving into Marengo County, but it doesn't matter because here's the deal. Strong winds likely on State Highway 69 moving across northern Clarke County that could produce damage similar to a tornado. And so it doesn't matter if it's damaging straight-line winds or a tornado. If it damages your property, it's a big deal. And so that's why we have this warning in place for the next 9 minutes in northern Clarke County. That is the only warning that we have on the board. Again, all the counties that you see here shaded in pink remain under a tornado watch until 11 a.m. We've said that 500 times, and we'll keep saying it because we've got folks coming in and out of the stream. And you need to know, if you're waking up, we are in round 1 of 2 severe weather events that are likely today, Saturday, January 21st, 2016. And we note that back in Mississippi, yet another damage report. We've been talking about this all morning long. We had a report in Runnelstown, which is back here in Perry County, Mississippi. And what happened was you had a trailer blown off its foundation, found upside down in the woods nearby. And understand, that's due to this same complex of storms. If we put the radar into motion, you can see that this thing came out of Mississippi ultimately and is now entering into Clarke and Marengo counties. We also had multiple tornado warnings in Choctaw County and the northern part of Washington County, which is originally why we came to you this morning on the live stream. Also, we should note that in addition to the tornado threat today, damaging straight-line winds is going to also be a main concern. Right now, northern Clarke, that is the main concern. In fact, we'll zoom in up there and take the radar out of motion so that you can see who's involved in this as the sweep comes around there. Again, Thomasville is here. Again, I should stress, if you're in Thomasville, most spots, 95% of Thomasville, not included in the warning. But the concern is up here just to the west of the local Walmart, which sits on US 43 at the split there. This is State Highway 5, US 43 here. Back behind Walmart, basically, in Thomasville, in terms of west, you're under a tornado warning, and we could have some damaging straight-line winds. All right, we got some new information. The tornado warning has officially been canceled for northern Clarke and Choctaw County. That has been canceled by the National Weather Service in Mobile, and so this polygon will go away shortly. And as of 5:38 a.m., we have no tornado warnings for any part of the red zone weather coverage area. Now, not to say that we won't have more. I certainly think we will, but as we look at the 3D radar here, the main concern has shifted now into Marengo County. I'm going to talk you through this in northern Clarke County for the next few minutes before we leave you potentially. And I'll tell you what, let's look at the velocity data quickly. There's your area of concern in terms of rotation. This is Alabama 69, Alabama Highway 10. This is US 43, Alabama Highway 5 there. All those areas in Marengo County, all those roads, I should say, no travel right now. It's a very serious tornado signature is continuing to move off to the northeast at a very rapid clip. Again, Marengo is outside of our coverage area officially, but we're going to hang with you for northern Clarke County for the next, say, 5-10 minutes just to make sure that we don't get any other developments before we leave you. And so, again, good news, we don't have any tornado warnings for any part of the red zone weather coverage area. Tornado watch continues until 11 a.m. local time. And again, just looking at the damage photos here, if I go silent, bear with me. It's not that I'm leaving you for now anyway. But again, we don't have tornado warnings. That's good news across our region. This warning, by the way, is off the board. The system hasn't updated, but the Weather Service has officially canceled this tornado warning polygon. And so Thomasville, Bashee, Midway, you're out of the tornado warning polygon, but some terrible weather on the way in terms of loud and proud storms and also storms that could produce damaging straight-line winds in northern Clarke County. Again, that's going to update in just a minute. In fact, what we'll do is take you over to our different radar source. Again, there's the whole region. All right, and again, no tornado warnings are in effect for any part of the red zone weather coverage area. However, we note that, again, much of Marengo County is under a tornado warning. Linden, Thomaston, Dayton, Aimwell, Sweetwater, Dixon Mills. Be in your safe place now. Don't wait if you are in Marengo County. And again, if you've got damage photos in Choctaw County perhaps, if you have damage photos, we certainly don't want you to go out during a storm in Clarke, Washington, or Choctaw counties. But after the storm passes, if you have damage, we would love to see an image of those. Certainly don't go out if there's any tornado warnings today and get damage photos. And also, I should say this, we have this mentality that, I need to see the tornado to take action. Don't do that today. When we say there's a tornado warning, this stuff means business. In fact, I'm telling you, we have had just tremendous, and I say tremendous, we're talking very, very bad damage over in southern Mississippi. In fact, tell you what, before we leave you this morning, for those of you that just may be tuning in, we will take you to Twitter and show you this. This is from Ryan Moore, at Ryan Moore MS. He is a reporter over in southeastern Mississippi. There's his Twitter handle. His name is Ryan Moore. Look at this. This is a church that was damaged in Arledge in downtown Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And so here's the large image of that. And again, the roof was blown off, that sort of thing. Significant damage to that church. And again, Ryan Moore, we want to thank him for those photos. We'll scroll down. And again, this was taken, we showed you this a little bit ago, this was taken during a lightning flash. This is not daylight or anything like that. This is a lightning flash illuminating the damage here in and near Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And so this is the type of damage, folks, that could happen today in southwest Alabama and northwest Florida as this line of storms continues pushing off to the east. We also should note that, again, this is round one of the severe weather potential. We have a tornado watch until 11 a.m. and round two of the storms that will fire up tonight. And so let's talk about if you're traveling across the region. I know that we've got many folks asking, and so we'll look at this. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is take you over to the models. In fact, let's go back over to our radar so I can get that up. And again, if you see this polygon, this is out. This is not in effect any longer. The only warning that we have on the board is for Marengo County. As you can see here in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, the pink counties are included in the tornado watch. The red counties are included in the tornado warning, and it's a portion of Marengo County. This does not include Demopolis, and so that's good news. All right, so looking at this model, tell you what we're going to do is take you over to the model viewer, and again, if you are traveling, this is for you. This is not a current radar. This is one idea on the table. This is not necessarily what will happen. Again, this is just one idea. And this is the North American model, valid at noon today. This is what the view will look like. And so understand, this complex of storms could be with us into the early afternoon hours as well. There will likely be a break, though, after this first round of storms, and then we will have more storms fire up later this evening. This is valid at 6 o'clock tonight. You can see, if this happens to be correct, mostly quiet across the region, and I'll probably get a nap during this lull that we have this afternoon, hopefully. And then we have more storms firing up. This is one of the views of the North American model, valid at 9 o'clock tonight, and you can see that we've got isolated storms forming across the region, if this model happens to be correct. Perhaps supercellular storms. And again, timing and placement could be off, but you see the potential across much of southwest Alabama and south central Alabama, and even over here in the Wiregrass, for strong to severe storms later today. So don't let your guard down. We advance the model forward. This is at midnight, and this is a look that you don't want to see, because we could have supercells in progress across the region capable of producing tornadoes. And so an ominous look there off the NAM, but I'm just showing you this to let you know that just because we don't have any tornado warnings in progress right now doesn't mean that we won't later today. I also should note we have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued for portions of Clarke and Wilcox County, and that is due to this same segment of this storm that we've been talking about. And so what I want to do is take off the radar data so that you can see exactly who is involved in this new severe thunderstorm warning. The Weather Service is noting that straight line winds, certainly a distinct possibility with this. And so here's the warnings that we have in effect right now. And tell you what, let's go to a conventional 2D view and zoom in a bit. All right, so here's Thomasville. You've got Pine Hill included in this severe thunderstorm warning that is going to be valid, I believe, until, yes, 6:30 a.m. So Pine Hill, Camden, also areas near Millers Ferry, Thomasville, also areas near Midway in Clarke County included in this severe thunderstorm warning that is valid until 6:30 a.m. So current time is 5:48 a.m. Again, if you're in northern Clarke County, you're now included in a severe thunderstorm warning. If you're in Marengo County, however, you're included in a tornado warning. And we'll zoom in on this tighter so you can see Linden down to Sweetwater along U.S. Highway 43. No driving is advised as we have a very strong signature of a tornado, or we did moments ago, pushing into these areas. And so tornado warning for Marengo, severe thunderstorm warning for northern Clarke and much of Wilcox County in south central Alabama. We're going to hang with you for the next few minutes until this line moves through Thomasville. And again, there is the situation. You've got a bowing segment right in through here, which is often indicative of damaging winds. And so get to that safe place as a course of least regret if you are in Thomasville. Again, get to the safe place in Thomasville and understand this is going to be a situation that is very quick. After this line of storms passes right in through here, I'll be able to give you an all clear for now anyway in Thomasville in about 10 to 15 minutes. And so good news is after this moves through, I'll be able to give you an all clear, and the severe thunderstorm warning will likely be canceled or expire in the next 30 to 45 minutes. And so that's the latest on that. Again, just hang with me this morning, checking a few other things here. The Weather Service is noting that straight-line wind damage is still possible in northern Clarke County with that bowing segment of storms. And again, I'm monitoring our NWS chat as well. This is our in-house system. We have a direct connection to the National Weather Service office in Mobile and in Birmingham that allows us to see what they're saying in the internal chat. Current time 5:50 a.m. The only warning that we have on the board right now is in the northern part of Clarke County. If you are in a good portion of Monroe County that is, you see that we've got heavy rain on the board with a good bit of lightning as well, extending down here towards Tensall. But understand, all of this action is under severe limits as it continues to move off to the northeast. Thomasville, safe place, next 10 minutes. Damaging winds possible basically over the next 10 minutes from now through the next 10 minutes or so. In fact, we'll zoom in on Thomasville. That's State Highway 5, by the way, that connects Pine Hill, which sits right there at that intersection of 10 and 5 that comes out of Thomasville. And so if you live anywhere near Highway 5, we should note that you need to be in your safe place as a course of least regret in Clarke County. And also, no driving north of Fulton along U.S. Highway 43, basically all the way up to Demopolis, because we've got a tornado warning that continues for much of Marengo County, and that's valid until 6:15 local time. So about 25 more minutes on that. And tell you what, let's look at the velocity data. I realize that this is getting into a radar hole, per se, where the radar is, the beam is hitting the hydrometeors in the clouds at a very high altitude comparatively. So we're talking 5, 6, 7, 8,000 feet off the ground up and through here. But here's your signature right in through here, moving off to the northeast. And so again, the call to action, we've been saying this for quite a while, Sweetwater, Dayton, also Thomaston, which is different than Thomasville, by the way. You need to be in that safe place due to a possible tornado moving to the northeast in Marengo County. Again, damaging straight-line winds certainly possible down in through here. Thomasville, back out towards Midway along Alabama Highway number 154. Be in that safe place as a course of least regret in northern Clarke County as this severe thunderstorm warning continues for the next few minutes. I'm just praying that we get a break from the warnings after this line moves through Thomasville. We very well could, which would be a great thing. Tell you what, let's go back over to the reflectivity product. And I also should mention that this system is going to produce a lot of rain over the next 36 hours across southwest Alabama and northwest Florida. That is why we will be monitoring for the heightened potential for flash flooding as well across our region. So again, keep that in mind. Also, large hail, something that we hadn't really talked about this morning, going to be a concern as this system continues to move through. Tell you what, I'm going to step off camera 1 second. Again, Thomasville, be in that safe place for the next 5 to 10 minutes as we have now a severe thunderstorm warning in progress for much of northern Clarke and Wilcox counties here in central Alabama. Again, the tornado warning right in through here continues in Marengo County until 6:30 a.m. But we don't have any tornado warnings in progress for the RedZone Weather coverage area, which is certainly some good news. Again, that is the only severe thunderstorm warning that we have on the board right in through here. This is State Highway 5. You've got U.S. Highway 43 right there. And here's your core of the main line of storms moving off to the east at a fairly rapid clip. And so you can see how the thing is kind of bowing right in through there. And again, moving to the east at a very rapid clip. All right, we have a report now, an unconfirmed report, that we have trees down in Gilbertown, right in through here. And we talked about now, going on 30 minutes ago, that we had potentially a significant tornado, perhaps, move through Gilbertown about 30 minutes ago. With the signature now, it's up and through here in Marengo County, on top of basically Aimwell and Sweetwater. Here's Dixon Mills as well. But again, Gilbertown, we have now unconfirmed reports of trees being down. Again, coming up on 6 a.m., and we have no active tornado warnings anywhere in the RedZone Weather coverage area. However, we note that we have this tornado warning in progress for much of Marengo County, basically for Linden, points south, points east, Dayton, Thomaston, not Thomasville, Thomaston, you need to be seeking shelter right now. And if you're in Thomasville, I would bet that we've got some issues in terms of very heavy rain, obviously, and also potentially some damaging straight-line winds with this thing as it moves in through town. Thomasville, that is. Here's 154, that's 43, that's Highway 5, that's Highway 25 right there. Again, all those roads are where this thing is located. In fact, we can zoom in even tighter into Thomasville, and you will see the street level data here. This is Thomasville, and so, again, this is 154 right in through here. Some of the smaller roads and city streets that you've got where this very heavy rain is moving in associated with this severe thunderstorm warning. You've got Noble Avenue, you've got West Front Street. You actually have a little street called Spinks Drive right there in Thomasville, right in through here. Very, very heavy rain beginning. Walmart sits right there near the intersection of 5 and 43. Very heavy rainfall in this area in Thomasville due to that severe storm that is now moving through. Again, that's the street level data. This thing is going to be coming out here into Wilcox County. You've got the new manufacturing facility that sits just to the south of Highway 5. Here's Pine Hill right in through here, State Highway 10 there, County Road 18 right there for Wilcox County. All those areas, you should be in your safe place just as a course of least regret for the next few minutes as this storm continues barreling through. Again, that's the only warning that we have, and I'll tell you what we're going to do. If we don't get any more tornado warnings in the next, say, 5 minutes, we are going to say goodbye for now on the live stream. But if we have tornado warnings here in southwest Alabama and northwest Florida, we will, of course, come back as necessary and keep you informed about the latest on tornado warnings. But we're not going to stay around if we don't have any tornado warnings. That's the bottom line. So, again, talking with you for the next, say, 4 or 5 minutes in Thomasville just to get this line through your city, since we've been talking about you for the past, say, hour or so. But after that, we're going to say goodbye unless we have more warnings issued. Let's look at the velocity data associated with this line of storms real quick. And the good news is it is fairly noisy in this area, which is a good thing. Very heavy rainfall, no doubt. But the good news is I'm not seeing anything that would suggest tornadic activity. And we don't have any tornado warnings in effect for any part of the RedZone Weather coverage area. Clarke, Washington, Monroe County, no tornado warning for any part of your county as of 5:57 a.m. Also, I should mention, if you are in Bruton, if you're in Atmore, if you're in Milton, Pensacola, it's not that we're not talking about you. I get this question a lot. You may be surprised. In these areas, down in through here. All of northwest Florida, anywhere in northwest Florida, doesn't matter where you are. Molino, Jay, Century, Pensacola, Navarre, Crestview, Destin. It's not that we're not interested in you, we are. But the reason that we've been talking about these communities in the northwestern part of our coverage area is because they are the ones who have had all of the issues so far this morning. If we have issues in those areas that I just called out in northwest Florida or places like Bruton or Evergreen, we cover you as well. And so it's not that we're neglecting you, but again, all the action has been up here in the northwestern part of our coverage area. Washington and Clarke counties are the two that have had tornado warnings this morning. No active tornado warnings right now, but that's why we've been focusing specifically on those areas. And unfortunately, the damage near Hattiesburg, Mississippi, folks, I'm telling you, it is not good. Not good at all. In fact, the national news, one national news source, ABC News, has now picked up a few of these photos. We'll take you back over to Twitter, and this is from the big ABC News, at ABC on Twitter. You can see that ABC has picked up some of the damage photos that we've showed you this morning. We'll show you these in depth. Perhaps you're just joining us at this time. Again, that photo was taken near Hattiesburg, Mississippi. That is something you never, ever want to see. You may be wondering, well, Spinks, why in the world does it look like this if it's not daylight yet? The answer is because this was illuminated by lightning, and someone just happened to have the skills to be able to get that photo. But this is near Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and I believe that photo is by Ryan Moore. You can see that a car was crushed by a large tree associated with this tornado that happened in southeast Mississippi. This is a new photo that we haven't seen, and you can see a tree down there. You've also got a large trailer here that's been moved to what appears to be a large area of dirt, And again, all of these were taken in the southern side of Mississippi near Hattiesburg. And again, there's that photo that we showed you a little bit ago, illuminated by lightning, but I think that one really tells the tale, unfortunately. I'm telling you, situations like that are something you never, ever want to see, and that is why we are encouraging folks near and just south of Linden to get to your safe place, tornado-safe place, right now, as we have a serious situation. By the way, same complex of storms right in through here in Marengo County near Linden that moved through Mississippi. It's the same one, and so it's made a beeline up here into Marengo County. And we'll put the radar into motion so that you can see that illustrated. And that's the past few frames. But again, you can see that the north component of motion continues with this. And by the way, with the trajectory of this thing, wouldn't be shocked to see portions of Perry and Dallas County go under a tornado warning in the next few minutes if the thing holds its strength. You've got Uniontown, which sits right here. This is Dallas County. Dallas belongs to the Montgomery television market. Perry belongs to Birmingham. And so the deal is this cell is moving just like that towards Uniontown. And so if you know someone in Uniontown, call them, let them know a potentially serious tornadic event on the way in the next few minutes. Again, the only warning that we have for any part of our region is for Thomasville and northern Clarke County, and it's this severe thunderstorm warning that continues for the next few minutes. All right, I'm just checking a few things. Again, if I go silent, hang with me. I'm checking our sources here to see if we have any new information I need to pass along to you. Tell you what, let's go back over to the iPad because we have a new video that I want to share. And again, this is from this wonderful reporter, Ryan Moore, at Ryan Moore MS. Give him a follow on Twitter, and you can see that this is in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. You see some damage there. I don't know what that structure is. It appears to be some type of tin roof. Again, this is in Hattiesburg, where they have had significant damage to what appears to be a large tornado that moved through. This is over in Hattiesburg. And that appears to be perhaps a grocery store. We're not sure, but you can check it out on Twitter. It's at Ryan Moore MS. There's the link to that. And so back over to the radar we go. Raining like cats and dogs in Thomasville right now. But we should note that I believe the severe thunderstorm warning in northern Clarke has just been canceled. Let me verify that, but nonetheless, it doesn't matter. This storm is producing very heavy rain in terms of, and yes, it has been canceled. So heavy rain, lots of lightning, lots of thunder, potentially damaging straight-line winds in northern Clarke County. However, the threat has lessened in northern Clarke to the point where the Weather Service is comfortable canceling the severe thunderstorm warning. If you are in western Wilcox County, Pine Hill, Yellow Bluff, also areas near Catherine, also Camden. There's a tiny community, believe it or not, called Possum Bend, which sits right in through here. All those areas are now under a severe thunderstorm warning, and that's on the board until 6:30 a.m. So for the next 26 minutes, and that line of storms is really kicking off to the east in Wilcox County. But since we no longer have any type of warning in southwest Alabama or northwest Florida, we're going to say goodbye in about 1 minute. So here's the deal. We'll put the radar into motion one more time for you so that you can see that this line of intense thunderstorms continues pushing off to the southeast at a very rapid clip. These storms right in through here in Monroe, northern Baldwin, northern Mobile County, all under severe limits, but nonetheless, very heavy rain continues near Purdue Hill, also near Monroeville, near Scratch Ankle, Alabama, also Beatrice down to Tensaw, Uri, McGargle, all those areas under very heavy rain, but all of that is not severe. So that's good news. Again, tornado watch continues for all of our region, all the counties that you see here, shaded in pink, until 11 a.m. What does that mean for you? It means that the severe weather potential continues. So don't let your guard down. Perhaps you're just waking up. The current time is 6:05. We've been here for I believe going on an hour and a half. And before I leave you, I should note that the Weather Service in Birmingham continuing the tornado warning for much of Marengo County, south and east of Linden, Dayton, Thomaston. You need to be sheltered, as we had a very powerful signature of a tornado about 30 minutes ago, and that's moving into the now eastern side of Marengo County. So again, tornado warning there, severe thunderstorm warning for western Wilcox, but across our region, our 10-county coverage area, no issues in terms of warnings for now. Tornado watch continues until 11 a.m. I am Spinks Megginson, and I'm going to say goodbye for now. On behalf of all of us at RedZone Group LLC, if we have further tornado warnings, be sure to check us out here on Facebook. And also, don't forget to opt in to our free RedZone Weather text program. I'm Spinks Megginson saying goodbye for now.